Hey guys, so I wanted to sit down and just kind of talk to you a little bit about what our plans are going to be for trying to conceive baby number 2. It did take me a little bit, mentally to try and make the decision as to when I wanted to have another kid. I had a really good pregnancy and I had a pretty decent labor and delivery. And I really, really loved being pregnant, and I remember when she was first home from the hospital, me just feeling so empty and just wanting to feel her moving around inside of me again, and just being sad about that and thinking I could have another baby right away. But when you think about it from, like a more sane standpoint as to do I really want another little tiny baby, while I have a little tiny baby, and, we ultimately decided to wait a little while and to kind of make a more rational decision. And we didn't do any form of birth control while I was, or in this last year, since I had Daisy, but we weren't trying, obviously. And I continue to track my cycles on the fertility app or the period tracker app that I have on my phone. And I kind of had an idea of when my fertile weeks would be, and we would just kind of avoid it. But other than that, no birth control or condoms or anything like that while Daisy has been here. And so then the decision had to be made as to when we would want to start trying again. And we ultimately came to the decision to start as soon as she turned 1, we would start trying again. And just, we kind of had the fear in the back of our heads that what if this time it takes us another 3 years or even longer to get pregnant, and we would really like to have a sibling that is close in age to her so that she has someone to be friends with and to play with and to grow up with and hopefully have a good relationship, for the rest of her life with. And then maybe in the future we'll kind of hold off and wait a couple years before we try again if we decide that we want another one after the second one. So hopefully it doesn't take us another 3 years. And then with that fear in mind, I had made the decision right off the bat that I wasn't going to try on my own, not even for a little bit. As soon as, we made that decision, she turned 1 in June, and it's mid-July right now. And we tried on our own the first cycle, and then we're in our second cycle right now. And I think my period is due next week or so just a few more days before, Anthla will be here. But I'm thinking this cycle is also kind of a bust. But I made an appointment with a new OB doctor here in town, and I went and seen him and gave him my whole story of the whole TTC process with Daisy and all the problems I had with the Clomid and the cysts, and I never ovulate, and the insulin resistance, and on and on. And we kind of got a game plan down. He wants to start me out on some metformin, which he has already. I've been taking about 2 weeks. So he wants to have the metformin to kind of aid with getting, the insulin resistance kind of in check, which will also in turn help the PCOS and ovulating. And then he wants to try Femera, or I believe the other name for it is letrozole, I think. I'm not 100% sure. But it's very similar to Clomid, but from the research that I've been doing before this whole interaction, a lot of people that are Clomid resistant or don't have success with Clomid have success with Femera. And then people who do Femera and metformin in combination, or metformin and Clomid in combination, have an even higher success rate. So we're going to start the metformin, and then there's kind of an in-between story. I want to make another video for it, but hopefully within the next few months I'll be starting the Femera at the beginning of my cycle, just like you do the Clomid, and hopefully that'll be what gets me pregnant. So I want to hopefully document this whole experience with taking the metformin, taking the Femera, tracking my cycles, maybe playing around with some ovulation tests, although I've never really had very much success with them because I never ovulate. I think I might be going in for blood work to check to see if the Femara is working, which would put me at ease because they didn't do that with me with the Clomid. And so every month I was just so hopeful and then kind of let down. At least this way I'll have an idea and won't spend, you know, $1 million on pregnancy tests every cycle. But so that's kind of what I have right now. We're on cycle 2, and when I start testing for this cycle, I mean, like I said, I don't really think anything happened this cycle, so I don't know if I'll be doing any like live pregnancy tests with it or not, but because I'm not super confident that anything happened. But as soon as I get the Femara script or hear from my doctor again, I will be letting you guys know about it. And then I'm gonna I'm also gonna be filming another video probably right here in just a few minutes, kind of explaining what else is going on with me health-wise and how it's gonna affect the TTC for at least the next month or 2, and then after that I can jump into taking the Femara. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching and hanging around, and I will see you next time.